Now I'm on. Let me know if it works. Because I had to mess with it the other day, so. Mine's live. Good? Cool. Alright, what's up, guys? Not going to be out here too long. Different setting. I'm on my front porch this time instead of on my back porch. Wind's a little bit too crazy back there, so. What's that? Tropical storm? A cyclone? She would have body like a cyclone. If everybody could please like and retweet the stream before we get started. Let me send this out in Discord. Ooh, I gotta make that new features channel for Discord. We live, baby. Did the oven just beep? That was loud as shit. Alright, send out Discord. Please like and retweet the stream. So obviously going to be covering the usual 3 SPY, QQQ, and IWM. The other 3 are NVDA, Google, and MU. NVIDIA, Google. Alright, checking YouTube stream, make sure YouTube stream is working. Thank you, Diamond, for retweeting the stream for me. Letting people know that we are started. So, SPY is still in like my chop zone area. So I have resistance above on SPY. This is going to be my supply zone. Resistance is this area. This down here is Jesus. What did I just do? This will be my demand zone and my support. So for SPY, 563.15. Honestly, I'm just going to drop it down to 563. So 563 to 563.40 is my supply zone, my resistance. If it does break and hold above that, then 564.20 area would be first target to the upside. Downside demand zone. SPY hit it perfectly, missed it by 2 pennies. 559.45 down to 559. So make it easy. It's a 40-cent wide zone on both sides. If you take the previous high from Friday session, it just lined up that way because I already had these levels in these zones prior, obviously. Go check all the screenshots from Friday at the start of the day. These were already here. And the live stream from Friday that was here with Google. You'll see SPY hit down here at the bottom of demand support zone. And pre-market and then come down here and then went back up. So all these levels were already here Thursday night, Friday morning. So if you just take Friday's high and you take Friday's low and go 40 cents wide both ways, and then that'll be the zone for supply and demand. And that's essentially all that I have for SPY. QQQ, I have 476.16 to 476.50. And then I have 471.40 down here. Mark this. I'm going to squeeze on 30-minute. Currently trying to go downside. Looks like a vommy. Just broke 30-minute trend line too to the downside. So for QQQ, 476.16 up to 476.50. That is going to be my supply zone, my resistance. To the downside, 471.4 to 471. So very similar with SPY. There's a 40 to, like a 40-cent zone on downside and 40-cent upside. So mark those two levels in QQ. It did break this 30-minute trend line here. QQQ bounces at 472.55. It can bounce back up to 474 after it breaks this trend line. If it shows support right here and it bounces back to the upside, watch for a 474 rejection after that, and then come back down to 472.55. And if that breaks, target the demand zone. That'll be a head and shoulders that it forms. You got the shoulder here. Now that it's got the head, if it breaks the trend line and it comes down here, watch for it to get bought up. Take it back up here to that 474, and then come back downside, target that demand zone. So, right there. And that's where I would look to short it. Comes down, hits it, short it, take it lower. So that would be like my put entry. So interesting to see how that plays out, and that takes it almost to the open tomorrow morning. So potential head and shoulders setup there if that does happen. Took a screenshot of that just to make sure I can post that in Discord later. But 476.16, 476.50 supply and resistance. 471.40 down to 471 is going to be demand and support. So I didn't mention on SPY, but I'll do it here in QQQ. The first time it's tested down here at that bottom zone, that doesn't mean I'm looking for it to just go ahead and break under or knife under it. The initial reaction off that, if I see buyers step in, is actually going to play calls off it and take it back up to the levels higher. But the only way I short it with that zone is if it does come down here and it breaks underneath the zone, it doesn't bounce, there's no buyers, and it just consolidates, or it just does break through the zone. When it goes back up and it retests, and then they do a clean rejection of an SR flip there, and then take it down here to lows. That'll be my put entry spot right there, is on the retest. When they flip it from demand and support, they're going to flip it to supply and resistance and then take it lower. And then vice versa for the upside. Not just going to chase calls when it gets up to the zone. First initial thing is going to be to trade short off it because it's acted as previous supply and resistance. So risk to reward says to try to short first and then take it lower, be a potential double top in that area. But to go long, have to break to the upside, come back down, do the SR flip, and then take it higher. Flip to supply and resistance. When it pulls back and they hold it, it's going to flip it to new demand and support. That's where I go long and then take it upside with another tight risk to reward trade. Go to IWM. What's up, Keith? Another typist. Check the chat channel. IWM is at a very, very important key area. What's up, Rick James Bid? What's up, Techwood? Keith said I sound like a robot. Oh no. I wonder why. Let me see. I wonder if it's because of this feature right here. Oh, yeah. It does sound like that? Yeah. Ruh-roh, Raggy. What if I change the input? Let's see. Let me change this real quick. Okay. I just changed the input to the laptop itself instead of the AirPods. See if it sounds better.
A little bit better, but it still kind of sounds robot-ish.
Did the volume change? I can turn it up a little bit more. Can you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Oh, Twitter and OBS. All right. Our IWM. We go to the larger time frame. This is what I'm watching right here. Drop it down to the daily. Okay, so this is an important zone on IWM. It's like right here. This is an important zone because you can see how important this zone is. Because in order to break through it right here, they had to gap this thing up and rip it to the upside. Then when it was retested, look what happened. Big move to the upside. Then in order to break it, they had to do a gap down all the way to the downside here. Again, when they had to break it to the upside here, they had to use a huge freaking candle. Retest. In order to break it to the downside, look what had to happen. A huge red candle. So, I say all of this because this should tell you to mark this zone on IWM. I put a level here in the middle of it. It's around 216.3. But every time this spot is tested, big volume comes into play into one of these directions, upside or downside. So now that IWM is testing it from the underside, the initial reaction is going to be to short it. Just risk to reward to short here and then take it to the downside until you see the break, pull back, hold, and then go higher. And then that's where you enter right there. So it would have to do the same thing. It would have to break up, pull back, and then go higher. That's where I take my calls are right there. So IWM is at a very, very important key area. I would just mark 217 down to 215. Just that's that $2 area right there. You can look at that. You can see how important this zone is here on IWM. Look at this. Look at this break in base, go higher, right? Look right here. Look at all this consolidation. And they wick it up and hold it every time, go higher. Pull back, they do it again, send it higher, right? Then it comes back down here, it wicks off of it, and then they gap it straight down. Huge count to the downside. So, should tell you this is a big key spot. So, IWM, flip it to the 5-minute. Look at that. Look what happened on Friday session if you just mark those two areas. Imp said, break down, you bitch. I bet that means he's short. I got stopped out of my short a little bit ago. Let's see. Where's NQ at? Yeah, NQ's consolidating right here. It's underneath the 15-minute 921. It's sitting just above the hourly. EMA's above the hourly 9. So 217, 215, mark that on IWM. Initially going to look to go short here. If IWM is underneath 217 tomorrow morning, then yes, I'm going to initially go short. I'll most likely get Friday. Was that the 20th? Yeah, I'll probably end up getting Friday or next Monday expiration. Puts, probably, if I take 217s for Friday, I'll probably end up taking 213 or 214 strike price. Just out of shits and giggles, where is that price at right now? They're currently at 191 for the 214s. 213s are 162. Perfect, because that's usually in my wheelhouse of where I look to get in the contracts, anywhere between $100 to $200 per contract. So they'll probably open up slightly underneath that. So probably closer to like hopefully around 150 on the premiums for 213, 214 puts for Friday expiration. Underneath 215 on IWM. Will really kind of seal the deal to get that move down, but initially going to look to just go short anyways up here in the 217 area, just based on the larger time frame. Risk reward says to try short here at this area. So after that, quickly is NVDA. Let me get rid of everything on this chart. So NVDA, it's above its weeklies and above its daily EMAs, which is good. Just marking this high here. It's a symmetrical triangle. There's 120-ish area right there. And that's 120 psych level. You can see this is an important area right here across the board for NVIDIA. So initially can look to go short off of this, take it back down to the trend line, go long, take it upside, see if it can break out of this the symmetrical triangle. To go short, I feel like the daily 9 and 21 is just going to line up at like 115. I feel like that's just where they're going to end up being. It's like 115. So above 120, Holding above 120 cycle level, I'll look to go long, go 123, and then up to the trend line 128, 130 area. Breaks underneath 115. I'm going to target 112. You can see how this is a big spot right here. It's around 109.50 to 110, it seems. So I would target that. That would probably be like almost my full target. So break under. That's going to be my put trigger right there. And then it would need to break above and hold 120. That would be my call trigger. So it's 120 and 115 on NVDA. After that is Google. What's up, Sharky? Almost 1,000 people in here. Appreciate you guys. Techwood said that is better. Got some auto tune going on. Said now it's a little better. Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright. Google. I love Google. Chris is home. So Google, beautiful hammer candle that popped off like the 150 area. So for me, it's gonna be 160 and 155 for Google. So right now the resistance on Google that it hit around the 158.50 area, that was the daily 21 EMA. And for the calls I had on Friday, essentially I had the MMK zone up there perfectly for the resistance and sold top and closed those runners for like 265 or 70%. So if it breaks back above that, I would expect to push the 160, but once it does the SR flip over 160, that's where I'll end up getting the calls and taking it up higher. That would be my call trigger. And then it would need to break underneath 155, and then I'll target back down to that zone like 152, 150 area, and that's going to be my put trigger. But again, the initial test of those areas, I will look to go short. So if it comes up here, the initial test of it, I'm going to look to go short to target back down here. My stop is if it starts to break and hold above it. So then I close out the short, and then I look for the break and hold of it, as long as it's showing that it's going to do the SR flip, and then I go long on it. But the initial test there, off of 160 psych level, I will short Google, break and hold above it, I go long. Comes down to 155. When it hits 155, I'm going to take calls and take it back up to 157.50 and then back up to 160 psych level. The only way I go short is if it breaks and holds underneath of it, and I will enter in on the retest. But initially, I will look to go long off 155. Last, surely not least, is MU. This candlestick setup here looks absolutely beautiful. Holding $85 here, I think if MU can break 92.50, it can get a pretty good move up to 98 and $100. If you go to the weekly, MU has a weekly green hammer candle after being extremely oversold. And that double bottom off 185. So I think MU can break and hold above 92.50. That's going to be my call trigger. This is the stock that I think can move 8% this week to the upside. So that's what I'm looking on MU. Potentially will reject around the $95 area. If I mark 95, where's 95? There. And screenshot this. So I really like MU if it can break and hold above 92.50. I would like to get in to a call position there and take calls up to $98 to $100 here. So this weekly green hammer stick and this doji candle here, essentially this is almost like a morning star reversal at the bottom. It's usually just a red candle, but they held it so well and bought it up, they closed it green. This is the daily. And that's essentially what I would do. I'll take a screenshot of this as well. So the break and close, the break and hold above continues to close above that 92.50 area. Then I will look to go long. But yeah, this daily potential Morningstar reversal, but that weekly green hammer candle, I think just on the larger time frame being very extended from the 9 and 21 EMA. Like as of right now, the 9 EMA is at $100.63. So it got very extended from the EMA. So if there's any spot that it's setting up on a larger time frame to show a bottom here, an area of support to at least come back up. Even if it continues the trend down, that's perfectly fine. But risk to reward going for the long down here off the support to at least put it back up here to reject the EMAs and put in a lower high to continue the trend. I'll be the person to do that. I think it's an amazing setup. So looking to go long on MU based on the daily and weekly chart. I do think you can get a move up to $100. So let me make sure I send all of these out in Discord. Jim Cramer said that GameStop feels like a massively overvalued full port GME. Go to the charts channel. Go to the downloads. Let's see. We got SPY. QQQ. Let's do NVDA. And Google. And MU. The MU chart I will post on Twitter, on X for everybody. All the other ones I just put in the Discord. If you're coming in here late, if you could please like and retweet the stream. It is recorded. It's always recorded. That way anyone that could not attend it live, once the session is done, the tweet will still be there with the link and they can watch the recording. So please, please, please like and retweet. Over 1,000 people in here. Appreciate and love you guys. So that's the 6: SPY, QQQ, IWM, Google, NVIDIA, and MU. Those are the 6 that I am watching this week. Anything crazy on the economic calendar? Let me see. Monday, nothing interesting. Tuesday, retail sales, business inventories, and homebuilder confidence. Wednesday, FOMC interest rate decision. That's going to be the biggest thing that everyone's going to be waiting on. Is Wednesday, right in the middle of the week. Thursday, got initial jobless claims and existing home sales, and nothing on Friday, thank God. So Wednesday will be the big day, FOMC. So hopefully we get some decent price action leading up to FOMC, and they don't just chop things around and hold it and in anticipation for what's going to happen with FOMC. So potentially big crazy moves on Wednesday. So those are the 6 charts. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Again, I will post that chart here in just a second on X for MU. Yeah, I'll pull up SPY one more time, which is fine because the same thing from Friday. Again, just mark the high on Friday, mark the low on Friday, go 40 cents wide. That's going to be your supply zone at the top, and that's going to be your demand zone off the bottom. And that's the plan for SPY going into the week until one of those zones are broken and there's a clean SR flip, and then I will trade that trend. Until then, I play the range back and forth, make money on calls and puts until proven otherwise. So that's it, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out, and I will catch you guys tomorrow morning live on Spaces, and then for my Discord members and Premium, I'll see you on the live stream in the morning. Y'all have a good